Thank you very much for tuning in. Now, if you think I am being Miss Tammy and psychically, my being psychically divining of things today seems to be a theme. But it doesn't take being psychic or Miss Cleo or Miss Tammy to be able to know in part why the U.S. government wants to open the borders for Mexico, because we're afraid of a Mexican revolution that would turn leftist, as other South American countries have turned leftist. Traditionally, as we've discussed, people wonder, why are leftist leaders so nutty? If you read my book, The Death of Right and Wrong, which I discuss malignant narcissism, and how the most damaged psychologically move to the top in the left, it explains why leftist leaders are so screwed up. So when you think of the theories of leftist politics, it's one thing on paper, and then you have human nature, and then you have damaged people. And you put the combination together, human nature is that we need to be able to compete to do a good job. We need to have a good reason and something to benefit from we need fruits of our labor. If you don't have that, the human being does not become inspired. Every animal has got to have a payoff at the end, whether it's the food or the sex or the better crowd or tribe or pack, the better tree to lay down on under, the better pool of water, the better food, whatever it is they're looking for, there's got to be a payoff for the work you do. It's the stalking of the zebras, and you do the hard work because I want a big fat zebra, and you've got to, now see, that would be a good clip to use about what Tammy Radio is really like, of just me saying, I want a big fat zebra. Now see, this is why context is so important. If you just played that, people would say, what is that, some kind of Japanese game show? I said, no, it's Tammy Radio. So there has to be a payoff, whether you're human or animal, in the efforts that you make. Now, if you were to stalk the zebras and it's been a couple days and you found the right one you were going to chase, which is usually the smaller or the weak one because you've got to be able to catch them. And that's what you've been doing and studying the zebra pack or whatever they call groups of zebras. What do you call a group of, what do you call a group of horses? That's probably what it's called. A pack? A herd, yeah. A herd of zebras as opposed to a gaggle. Unless, of course, it is the very rare flying zebra. Then that would be a gaggle. But imagine you're a lion and you're there and you've picked out your zebra and you run at the zebra and then they all just disappear like they've been beamed up by Scotty. Would you again ever really stalk them? Because you realized at a certain point, what's the use? Why should I work so hard? But then every other week, the same people that beamed up all the zebras beam down like one chunk of beef for you. So you just lay there and you wait for the chunk to be dropped. You're not going to stalk anybody. You're not going to get the exercise, and you're going to get kind of fat and lazy. It's like you'll become like the Alec Baldwin of lions. You'll get fat and lazy and squinty-eyed, and you'll wait for that beef to be plopped down in front of you by Scotty. And then eventually you'll get the arthritis and you'll die an early death because you're not getting any exercise. And you won't be able also, by the way, to get the girl because the girls want the fast guys for the genes to be propagated. And eventually you just stop working entirely. And then you become France. That's right. You see how all of this connects? You just connect the dots. You just listen to Tammy Radio and you'll just get it. You'll understand it a little bit more clearly.